I'm Victor Salamba. This very wonderful Friday, the fourth day of December. Yes, the fourth day of December, dear listener. The year truly is over. As always, I like beginning the show by thanking God for all of you, thanking God for what we are doing and where we are in life. Because I believe in Thanksgiving we increase our capacity to receive. In this wonderful Friday, dear listener, I'd like to pick up where I've left off the past couple of weeks. Remember, I began by talking about relating with or to a firstborn, and I thank you so much for the feedback I got about that. Then last week I did relating with a middle child, and this week now we go to the babies of the family, relating with a lastborn. You might be married to one, you might be one. You might, of course, if you're a parent, then automatically you actually have one. The beautiful thing about lastborns and firstborns is that every family must have those two. Middle children can fail to exist. If you have two children, of course, middle children can fail to exist. But a firstborn and lastborn are always there. If you have one child, then that child is either we call them either a hyper firstborn or hyper lastborn. But in truth, that every family has got one. And if also you're married to one, it's something interesting to talk about as well. And also, if you are one, it's good to understand yourself as well. Now, remember, I like saying this, that no birth placement is perfect. No birth placement is perfect, or no birth placement is superior to the other. They just means that we function differently based on this. And so, and also I said that it is not also a mandatory requirement that you fall in these particular brackets. At times, there are people who are just absolutely different, and that is also allowed. Also, dear listener, this wonderful morning now. So who is the lastborn? Let's start from there. Who's the lastborn? A lastborn, of course, is the last child of a family. That's first and foremost. But also, a lastborn, dear listener, can be actually a child who has a 5-year difference between them and the one who follows them. If they have a 5-year plus difference between them and the one who follows them, then it's possible that you might have two lastborns in that home. The same way, normally say if you have got a firstborn who has got, if you had a secondborn who has a 5-year gap between them and the firstborn, potentially you might end up having children who portray the characters of two firstborns. So when you talk about lastborns also, it's good to note something, and I want just to go quickly into it on how to relate with them. It's first of all, you must know the type of lastborn you have. The type of lastborn you have. That's very, very important. Because when I know this, then now it's easy for me to know where my partner fits or my child fits. There are 3 types of lastborns. No other age group or birth placement has got this definition. Only lastborns have this. There are 3 types of lastborns. There's lastborn extreme positive, who is a lastborn who shows firstborn tendencies and firstborn behavior. Then you have got a lastborn extreme negative. Those ones are the ones we call the babies of the family, or when they grow up, wanatwanga big babies. The ones who you ask them, what do we do? Anasema wacha tupigie mom. When do we get children? Wacha tupigie mom. Tuta invest wapi? Wacha tupigie mom. Mom alisema, and they are married to you. You have 2 children together. They have to always consult. They never seem to grow. Then you have got lastborns who we called mild. Mild is now the hybrid. There are times when there'll be extreme babies, and the times they'll be very responsible like firstborns. Those are, again, that's a very common group also among the lastborns. So you must know, is my partner extreme positive? Are they extreme negative? Are they mild? Is my child extreme positive, extreme negative, or are they mild? This will help me to deal with them even in any marriage. Now, number 2. Lastborns love to be loved and love to be the center of attention. A lastborn loves to be the center of attention. This may at times lead them to look self-centered or very egocentric, because it has to be about them. Remember, when they came, they were the ones that everyone turned and looked at. Everyone turned and looked at them. So lastborns love to shine, and they love to be loved. Everything they do, they love to be loved, which is important to note, because if you're with them in a board meeting, they're likely to talk more than others, that they may be noticed. In a marriage, they're likely to talk more. They like to do more to be noticed. As children as well, they like to be noticed. A lastborn loves to be loved. If you're in a relationship with a lastborn, understand this, that unless they are at the center of the relationship, that relationship might have a problem. They have to be the center of it. It has to revolve around them. That's how they work. Number two, lastborns are generally the most affectionate children you'll ever get. They have no fear to show affection and love whatsoever because they received so much of it. When lastborns love, they love until the last straw. And they don't hold back in relationships. If you're dating a lastborn or you are married to a lastborn, one thing you know for sure is that unless something awkward has happened, lastborns are never afraid to show affection to their children, to their siblings. They are never afraid to show affection to their loved ones, to their wives, to their husbands. Wanapenda mpaka na macho, and they are not ashamed of it. Which is very different from example to firstborns, because firstborns love differently. Firstborns love, yes, faithfully, but firstborns love differently. Firstborns will not show that much affection, yet they will love. Lastborns will show the affection that comes with that love. Number 4, hapa ndo kana umananga when a lastborn is married to a firstborn. Note this: it's never that serious with a lastborn. Haki, with a lastborn, it's never that serious. Life is simple and they approach it that way. You might panic for a lastborn, you might worry for a lastborn, lakini yeye hata stuka na wewe. Now this is where firstborns want to kill lastborns. Because you want to do something and you think it's urgent, and the lastborn yao ni urgency. Haki yao ni. Their flight leaves in 2 hours. And the firstborn is mad. We want to kill the lastborn because firstborns don't like being late. I want to leave on time, I want to be there on time. Lastborn bado anasema hata bado sijui nini ya iko wapi. They don't have life is simple to a lastborn. It's never complicated. And they approach life that way. It's never that serious. So if you're in a relationship with the lastborn, understand that the things that you will panic, they don't panic. Things that naturally would make you run up and down like a headless chicken, lastborn hata stuka, utastuka peke yako. The next one is this: lastborns don't easily take no for an answer. They are the most persistent human beings. That's why they make the best salespeople. The best salespeople on earth are lastborns. They don't take no for an answer easily. Those who are parents, you'll attest to this. That your lastborn will ask again and again and again and again until they get what they want. If they want something, they are willing to nag, they are willing to persist, they are willing to push without shame until they get it, which is very different, by the way. Because a firstborn will ask for it in an authoritative way, ask for it without looking like they are showing weakness. A firstborn will want it but not beg. A firstborn will keep their dignity while they ask for it. A middle child is likely not to ask. Because middle children don't like to be a bother to anyone. A middle child will keep quiet, aumie kisoja, hatasema. A lastborn atasema. And they'll say it and say it and say it until they get their way. No is not an option for a lastborn. Which connects with my next point, that lastborns are never afraid to ask for help. They are never afraid to ask for help. Unlike middle children, who may be withdrawn, and not ask, because middle children will think, am I disturbing you? So they'll keep quiet, Or a firstborn will ask for help, but in a proud way. A firstborn asks for help without asking for help. Anaulizanga but hajauliza. Yes. Middle children will not ask. A lastborn will not shy away from asking for help. If they need money, they will pick up the phone, they will call you and tell you that I need 10K. We ongea vile utaongea tu minipe 10K. They are never afraid to ask for help. And that's why statistically as well, unfortunately, but statistically, is that even if you look at the percentage of suicide cases, lastborns are the least. Because a lastborn will just ask for help. The next one, before I go on a very short break, is that lastborns can easily be conned or misled. This is because they like to be liked and they are people-oriented. They make most of their decisions based on feeling rather than thinking it through. This often exposes them to the wrong people, that someone can easily lie to a lastborn or mislead a lastborn than it is for them to mislead a firstborn. Because last ones, because of their being people oriented and liking to be liked, they might actually make a decision based on absolute emotion than they would make it out of logic. Dear listener, after the break, I'll finish the remaining very few points. Stay tuned. This reflection will be available on my Facebook page, Victor Salamba, during the course of this wonderful day, dear listener. As I continue with this topic on relating to the last born, as I just wrap it up, dear listener, the next point is this. Last borns are generally selective listeners. Last borns are generally selective listeners. This is important to note when you're with a last born. That with the last born, you can say something and they might fail to hear what you are saying, or they might choose what to hear or what to receive. This is because it revolves around them. Conversations begin from them and go to others. The world begins with a lastborn and goes to others. So when you're speaking to a lastborn and a lastborn spouse, you must be very aware that there's a chance they might choose what to hear. So one of the ways you know that lastborn is listening, if they're actively speaking. If they're actively participating in what you're saying, then they're listening. Because remember, and this connects with my next point, which is that lastborns easily pass the blame to other people. Lastborns easily pass the blame to other people. It's difficult for a lastborn to say, hapa ni mimi nilikosa. No. If there are two groups of people who have a problem with apologies and accepting fault, is a firstborn and a lastborn. That's why a marriage between the two can be very, very, very interesting. Because the firstborn would not easily take responsibility for a fault, because firstborns love to be perfectionists. And lastborns, on the other hand, love to be loved. So when you put a lastborn and a firstborn together, automatically, dear listener, the possibility of one of them accepting fault is difficult. Lastborn akikubali, hiyo ni kama hapendwi. Firstborn akikubali, that is imperfection. Both of them will resist it, dear listener. Both of them will be able to resist it. So it is important to understand this, that one, lastborns listen selectively, because if they are not part of the conversation, if it's not around them and doesn't make them feel good, they are likely to disengage. The next one is this, dear listener. Lastborns are fun people to be around. They make great company, they make great friends, because they are not complicated people and they often don't go through life with baggage. They are simple human beings, they are not complicated, so they make the best company. If your friend is a lastborn, you have a very good friend. You know, they are very good friends. Lastborns make great company. You're at a party, you want to be next to a lastborn. You know, because while you're at a party, a firstborn will be more concerned about time, about food, about what, many things, curfew, nini, all those things. A middle child might not want to over-engage. A middle child might want to do things differently. But a lastborn will want to be life of that party. They want to have fun in that party. So lastborns actually generally fun people to be. That's why even in families, when our lastborns come, the family lights up. They're fun people to be around, which leads me to my next point, that lastborns don't keep grudges. Haki lastborn anamkanga akienda tu. Lastborns don't keep grudges. Lastborns, unlike middle children I said can keep grudges for long, because they don't say when they're hurt. But a lastborn forgives and forgets and I move on, because life is never that serious. They don't keep grudges, they move on. Which now my final point is this, that generally lastborns make great parents. Great parents. They might not be the most responsible parent, but they make very good parents, because lastborns are very affectionate and engaging human beings. They easily connect with their children. They easily connect with their children. They might not follow through in what they say. They might say they'll do something, but they might fail to follow through. But one thing about lastborns is this, is that they make very good parents. Let us remember that these things indicate to us how we can relate to other people, how we relate to our children, our spouses, how we can relate. It doesn't necessarily mean, dear listener, that any age, any birth placement is bad. They are all good, dear listener, just absolutely different.